Aloha, shalom everybody. Today is the Lionsgate Portal 8-8 and whether or not you find significance in that doesn't really matter in regard to this activation. It's also the new moon, and for those of you who are new to these videos, they don't actually have anything to do with the moon other than the fact that we use it as a measurement of time. And for those of you returning, welcome and thank you for joining me in this activation portal and for joining your brothers and sisters around the world as they begin to tune in. We've been doing these activations every week for years now, and a really cool community has grown around them. If you think there's anyone who could benefit from this message, go ahead and share it now while it's live so that we can get our friends and family in the portal together. You may want to wait till after the video to share the recording. That's also fine. If your friends don't have Facebook, it's also going to be loaded to YouTube as usual, and Instagram, Rebecca Magic on both. So maybe you want to share with your favorite groups right now, your favorite self-love, consciousness, awakening, starseed groups, any of them, wherever you think this message might be appreciated. And then go ahead and let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. I'm tuning in from Sedona, Arizona, as I usually am, unless of course I'm traveling, and I bring you all with me. So good to see you guys, yay! So good to see you all tuning in. So I'm tuning in from Sedona, Arizona. I see New York, I see Slovenia, ooh, I see North Carolina, I see here and now, good answer. So today is Sunday, sun, so I'm wearing yellow. You may have noticed I've been matching the colors of the week as they correspond to the different planets. You might want to try that too. I invite you to do that with me if you like. So I'm just going ahead and shuffling the cards as everybody tunes in, shuffling your energies into the deck. I see England, I see Portland, I see Sweden, I see Poland, Germany, awesome, creating our grid of light around the world, South Dakota, and remember that these cards are representative of the different angles of your own mind, also our collective shared one mind. They are not outside of you, they're perspectives of your own consciousness. And there's nothing new under the sun. We have all answers within us, but when we pull this message out, it just tells us what's most important to focus on right now. When we put the cards out on the table, basically what it does is it pulls the answers out from within us and clears away all the extraneous stuff that's just taking up space. Gives us the focus of the week. Gosh, these flies are crazy here. I don't know about where you're at in the world, but summertime in Arizona, fly land. I see Syria, UK, Romania, another England. What's up? And then when you're ready, go ahead and let go of whatever you're carrying today, whatever feelings, thoughts you're carrying, just become empty for this moment. You are welcome to invite those feelings and thoughts back in at the end of this activation, but for right now, let's just be here now together, present, empty, open, ready to receive. You can see yourself holding hands with all your brothers and sisters around the world, or with everyone in this live activation right now. Maybe include all those beings who are going to receive the recording. You can see yourself connecting to the deck. Maybe you shrink yourself and jump into the deck. Use your imagination. Imagination is key because all is mind. Thank you in advance. Archetypes, faces of the one, for this message we're about to receive together. And it's new moon, which means there's something new happening within us and within all things. What is this new beginning? Now I'm going to go ahead and take out my Hebrew cards. They look like this. I'm going to shuffle these ones too. You can send your energy into this deck as well or connect however you desire. You can even see yourself, this is a fun one, you can see yourself turning a whole color, like my entire being is turning green, then this deck is turning green, and through that frequency of the color green, we connect. You can do anything you want to do. It's all about imagination. The first principle of Hermetics is the principle of mentality. All is mind. So new moon, we want to know what we're stepping into. Perhaps we want to know what we're leaving behind. What's the energy that we're stepping away from right now? What is one card that can sum up the energy we're stepping away from that brought us to this present moment? And the card I'm pulling for the present is the challenge and the gift that we're now stepping into. And then with the Hebrew cards, I'm going to pull an ally at the top. Our here now angel as we move through this week. Okay, beginning with not sitting on my hair. Beginning with what we're leaving behind. I want to say this is like the 4th week in a row that we're starting off with a major arcanum card. So it seems like this group is so powerful, we always just get straight to the point, which is pretty awesome. So balance, justice. Right away, what I see here is that we're letting go of the need to overanalyze, the need to analyze everything, judge everything. It's important that right now we trust that all things already are in perfect balance. It's not a time to hyper-focus on micromanaging what is already perfect. We need to know that there already is balance within all things, and it's not our duty right now to focus on punishing anyone, including ourselves. We don't have to try so hard to make things right or bring things into balance. What we need to do is just relax, let go, and trust that it all is in balance already. And when we do this, we free up our energy for what the current challenge actually is, and we're about to pull that and find out what it is. But the more we just affirm that everything's already in perfect balance, the more we can let go of all the tedious work that comes with judging everything and overanalyzing ourselves and everyone around us. Know that everything's in perfect balance, and you lighten the load from the get, from the very beginning. So now that we're doing this, letting go of the need to wear that justice hat, punish ourselves and everyone around us, make things right, put things into balance. No, we're letting that go. Gosh, we're taking our energy back and feeling so much more empowered through the acceptance and the knowing that everything's already in perfect balance. And the one judge, the Most High, has it covered. Whew, thank goodness. So letting go of that need to struggle to bring things into balance, we free up the energy for the current challenge. Knight of Swords. So we have a major arcanum card and a royal card now. As I said, this group is very powerful and we tend to get directly to the point, which is reflected in these symbols here. So Knight of Swords. This is the fire of the challenge, the fire of earth. This is the one who takes action within the challenge. So right now, because swords have to do with challenges, and we pulled a challenge card for the challenge and gift. Right now, our challenge is in taking action. Where is your life the most challenging right now? What is the most challenging aspect of your life? And then from there, ask yourself, is it really the most challenging aspect? Or am I making it more challenging? And can I look behind the scenes of what's going on materialistically to see what the real challenge is for me, spiritually speaking? Because everything in the material realm is a reflection of the unseen realm. The material realm is the world of effects, where the unseen realm, spiritual realm, is the world of causes. How can we look deeper? And the Torah story for this week is called Re'eh. It means to look, to see, to look closely. How can we look behind what we think is our greatest challenge and see what spiritual challenge is being offered to us there? Because within the challenge lies the gift. All opposites are hidden within, right? Everything has its equal and opposite force. So how can we look at where we think we're being most challenged in our lives and then take it deeper to a spiritual level and ask, why is this challenge coming to me? Why am I facing this hardship? What is the lesson in it? And how can I stop putting it off? How can I take action with the challenges in this material dimension, which will reflect me taking action on a deeper level? For example, if I have a challenge in this material realm, I'm going to approach it with confidence, and I'm going to stop running away in fear. I'm going to approach it with the knowing that as I face this challenge on the material realm, I'm also facing it in a spiritual way. This helps me depersonalize what's happening. It helps me to get unstuck from the material details of it and look deeper. So when I'm addressing a person, for example, that's involved in the challenge, it's not just between Rebecca and Mary, or John, Bob, Tim, whatever. It's about my soul and that soul. It's about the soul lesson. That helps me to let go of maybe whatever feelings I have or resentment maybe that I have for this specific person, and helps me take spiritual responsibility and accountability to once and for all face the situation and actually move through it. Just as an example, okay? So look for where those challenges are in the material dimension and know that it is a reflection of a spiritual challenge you are being faced with. And approach it and use the physical aspects of the challenge to access the spiritual aspects of the challenge. Know that what is the outer layer is temporary and will fade away, but you must use it to access the spiritual dimension and the deeper layers that come with that challenge. Use your material life as a ritual to affect the spiritual. And right now it's in regard to the challenge. So it's saying look to where there are challenges in your life and approach it. And remember, this is swords, so we want to approach with truth. With truth. The sword represents our truth, our expression. So as you move toward the challenge, and you can see it's like very fiery down here, as you move toward the heat of the challenge, do it with truth. Bring your most truthful and highest expression straight toward it. Don't be afraid. Go with confidence and go with compassion. Go with confidence and go with compassion. Not one without the other. Confidence reflects faith and trust in your plan, in the plan. And compassion is always necessary to take with us wherever we go. And good thing, it's always there in the center of our hearts. So it's already within you. Tap in and carry that attunement into the heart of the challenge. Use the material situation to affect the spiritual. Okay, so the challenge looks like, first, asking yourself right now, what are the most uncomfortable aspects of my life right now? What are the most challenging aspects of my life right now? And I encourage you to look first at relationships, because relationships are everything. They are the most important. We are here to learn how to see our own reflection in all things, to see the reflection of God or the Creator, Source, Great Spirit in all things. And it's easiest for us to see that in other humans because we look so alike. It's such a clear mirror. So there's such an immediate opportunity for empathy and compassion, more so than with any other beings, because we are alike. We are in each other's image. So use that to progress spiritually and psychologically. Look to the relationships in your life that are most challenging right now. And ask yourself, why are these aspects the most challenging of my life right now? And what are they calling me to learn from a spiritual perspective? Go straight to that person and express your truth with confidence and with compassion. And remember, the challenge is also the gift. So most of us are experiencing this archetype on the level of the challenge and the gift in different areas of our life. Okay, so for some of us, we feel more on the challenging side of things, where we feel like, oh God, it's so hard to express my truth, and I don't want to go toward the heat of the challenge, and I want to run away, and I'm scared. And then some of us are more on the gift side of this, where we feel, oh gosh, I am not afraid, and I know that I have to go straight toward the challenge, because that is where the transformation lies. The fire is either the heat that will burn you or transform you. Well, I know that it has the potential and the power to transform, so of course I'm going to go straight toward it with confidence and with compassion. And I'm feeling more empowered than ever to speak my truth in a way that's loving. Okay, but we're human. We're beings of polarity, so most likely we're experiencing both ends of the spectrum. So what you can do to carry yourself through to the other side, from the challenge to the gift, is to stay aware, stay alert, stay present. Be vigilant of your own thoughts. And be really careful, because especially when we think we got this, we don't. It's like, look again, humble yourself. So really pay attention to your thoughts and see where you may have been avoiding a certain challenging aspect in your life. And especially if you've been doing this avoidance for a long time, you will have convinced yourself so deeply that you're not avoiding. So be careful, because the ego is sneaky. So really look at not only where you've been avoiding, but maybe look at where you've not been powerfully approaching the challenge. That's one way to outsmart the ego. Instead of looking at where you've been avoiding, because it's going to be like, don't show her, don't show her. Instead, be like, well, where am I not going confidently enough? Where can I go more confidently toward? What's really needing my attention? Priority focus. And how can I envision myself going straight there? Before I even do it, before I even act on it, let me in my mind envision that challenging aspect in my life, and let me envision approaching it. And as I conjure this vision within my mind's eye, I'm going to, first of all, see myself and this person, for example, as pure souls. I'm going to first acknowledge the purity of the soul, of which we are a part of the one soul. So I'm going to right away acknowledge their highest aspect, my highest aspect, and then maybe I'll do a little visualization, seeing like a thread of light going from my high aspect to their high aspect. Whatever you need to do, create a bridge of connection, and first honor their divinity and your divinity and the shared divinity, as you and that person are literally one. First the oneness, okay? And then from there, work it out in your mind. What could you say to them? How can you see your words reaching their heart? And be as a child, use your imagination. See the words coming out of your mouth. Maybe they're surrounded by pink. Pink is the color of the high heart and love and divine mother, compassion. See the words sparkly pink and going into their heart or into their mind's eye, or maybe their heart and mind's eye become one, and then the letters go directly into that portal as they become one. Whatever. Use your imagination. But for those of you who are going, this is far out, this is some fairy magic, I encourage you to look at the reality that, is it not better to do that sort of a visualization than to sit there hating that person, harboring resentment for yourself or that person or for some situation? Is it not better to do that sort of fairy whimsical magic in your mind's eye? Is it going to hurt you? It's not going to hurt you. In fact, it's going to heal and help you, and heal and help us, the one. Because what you're doing in that moment is so profound. It's not just about the visualization you're seeing, but also the feeling that you're carrying, and the vibration then that you maintain, and the frequency that you transmit out into our shared world. Yeah, the vibration you're going to share with the world in that moment is going to be a much higher, more beneficial frequency than it would have been if you were sitting there huffing and puffing and harboring resentment and all angry at somebody or something. Period. So do it as often as you like, because it's always going to serve you better to do those sorts of visualizations and carry that high energy than it is to sit there and mope and be upset or angry. we're always either embodying the energy of a virtue or a vice. Bring it back to virtue. Anger doesn't feel good. It doesn't do good for you, for us, for the one. But acceptance does. So always look to what vice you're embodying and know that there's an equal and opposite force. Embody that. Neutralize the vice with virtue. Okay, so going back, you will want to see yourself in your mind's eye approaching the heart of the situation first, the heart of the challenge first. Okay, you can then even send energy into the future to help support your mission when you actually do take action. So there's even a symbol in Reiki for this. It's called the Hon Shaze Shonen. You can ask me about it if you're interested. Just private message me. I have a video about it that I made a few years ago on my YouTube channel, or you can find it there, youtube.com/Rebecca Magic. There are many different methods across the world, different cultures, for sending energy into the future or into the past or anywhere across time and space. Basically, it's a metaphysical concept where you, within your mind's eye, envision the future, envision a positive future, and that plants that seed within your subconscious, which then later helps you when you approach that future moment. For example, if you instead just carry worry or anxieties, fears, then those are the seeds that you plant and those are the energies that you send into the future. Why not instead just right here, right now, envision a positive outcome? So you really ingrain that belief within you so that when you approach that moment, you approach it naturally without fear and naturally with confidence. And this feeling deep inside that you already got this because you envisioned it over and over until that day came. Doesn't that make sense? If you tell yourself something over and over, it's like fake it till you make it, or as I like to say, faith it till you make it. So do that. Embody a positive vision and frequency as often as you can so that when that moment comes, you are prepared, you have trust, you have faith, you are relaxed. So first in your mind, practice approaching the heart of the challenge and then act. It's time for action. It's time for action. Don't wait too long before you act either, but make sure it's authentic. Make sure that you've reached a place of confidence and compassion. Otherwise, don't. Otherwise, don't approach it yet. Otherwise, you're not ready. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to honestly be ready. And then go toward the heat, knowing that it transforms you. The fire is what produces the alchemy. The challenge is the alchemical furnace. Go straight to it, knowing that that's where the transformation lies. And as long as you hold back in fear and you don't approach the challenge, you're only prolonging the situation. You're only holding off on what is going to be a glorious transformation for you and for the one. Remember, the challenge on this material plane is reflecting a challenge that you're being offered in order to transform to the next highest version of who you came here to be. And now let's see who the ally is. The Kaf. And this is the sun. The Kaf is the sun. It's connected to the tarot card, the sun. So this is all about shining. And that was the very last statement we said. You're doing this. You're figuring out what the physical challenge is representing for you on a spiritual, in a spiritual way, so that you can reach the next highest level of who you came here to be. That is the sun. That's the Kaf. Doesn't that make perfect sense? That's the ally. And the symbol for the Kaf is a sun either rising on the horizon or setting. So you want to see yourself, in this instance, in this case, as a rising sun. See the horizon and see yourself coming up. And I love that it's Sunday. As I just said, I'm wearing yellow. I'm wearing my stars here for the sun. Today is ruled by the sun. And here we have the sun as our ally. Perfect, so aligned. Soul aligned, S-O-L, soul, sun. Soul aligned, soul is aligned. Heart and mind, soul enters body. So envision yourself as a rising sun. What will it take to really shine? Open up your mind. What will it take for you to reach that next level of radiance, shining the light of the virtues, the light of the all-virtuous light of compassion? It certainly means letting go of this. We don't have to try so hard right now. Relax and let the Creator do their job. Go toward the challenge. Quit putting it off. That's what this month is all about. As we step into this new moon, we're being activated to remember this week the message is do not fear the challenge. Do not fear the shadows. Do not fear the knots in the web that is your life. Go to them and undo them so that you can shine. And a really great visualization you can do is imagine your life as a web, because all of life is a web. Think of Indra's web. Think of the many different stories from cultures across the world that talk about this web that we all are a part of, that we all weave. And just imagine you're part of the web. Start small, because you are the microcosm of macrocosm, right? You use your life as a ritual to affect the whole. So imagine the knots in your immediate web. And see yourself undoing them, because you know that within those knots, there's more light contained, but it's being bunched up. And when you undo those knots, the light can disperse and shine brighter. So there's light hidden in those knots, and you got to go to the knots. And because we are humans with these egos, we're afraid of the challenges. We're afraid of undoing the knot because we're like, oh man, that knot's going to be really hard to undo. You still have to do it. You still have to undo it. So you just sitting there looking at the knot in fear is not going to help anybody. You're just prolonging the process. And the sooner you get to it, the sooner you undo it, and the more light there will be for us all. So imagine then all of your challenging situations. Maybe you want to write them down or just see them in your mind's eye. Imagine each one a knot. Depersonalizing the story, forgetting the names of the people involved in that knot. Forgetting the material details of what it all looks like, the colors, the shapes. It's a knot. And no matter what you think about the situation, no matter what your fears say about the situation, you still have to go straight toward that knot, straight to that knot, and undo that knot. It's all going to be okay. And you will get through it. In fact, the degree to which you are confident and compassionate will be the degree to which the universe supports you through it. The more confident you are that this is your mission, it's what you have to do, and the universe brought you here to do it for us, the more you are opening up to the support of nature and the entire universe. Because life supports life. The more you walk with compassion, the more compassion will serve you, because compassion is the light of the Creator. Compassion is the original light of creation, which is back of all things. So if you walk with it, it walks with you. So see yourself moving through this web straight toward the knots, forgetting the voice of the ego as it wants so badly to remind you of all the fears. All those thoughts are not in alignment with walking in compassion. Compassion knows no fear. Compassion is full trust and love, knowing of the mission, faith in the divine order of all things. So this type of frequency is not resonant with lower thoughts, with fears, with doubts, with worries and anxiety. There is only trust. There is only love. There is only the knowing that this is our mission and we have to go to it and get through it. Walk with compassion, and compassion will walk with you. Go to the knots and undo them. And remember that you're the sun. See yourself shining like the sun. Wear yellow today if you have it. Envision yellow in your mind's eye. Put a yellow symbol somewhere that you're going to look at all day. Maybe, next to one of your mirrors, or maybe where you're going to brush your teeth at night. Put a picture of a sun so that you're reminded right before bed that that's your vision, that that's the vision you're holding on to. What does it look like when you're shining so bright? And then connect that vision to the knowing that you gotta go undo the knots. And once you do, that light will burst through. Once you do, that light will burst through. And that light is you. You can see there's a little sun within the knot. And as you undo the knot, the sun's rays burst through. And I encourage you, if you have children, draw the sun today, ask them to draw themselves as a sun. Ask them to draw what they would look like if they were shining. Ask them to draw you. If you have kids, ask them, can you draw what I look like when I'm my best self and when I'm shining? Because they know. They know. And say, ask to draw the whole family shining our brightest light. And ask them, what do we look like when we shine after we get through a challenge? Maybe you want to write down some words, feeling words that describe feelings for what we're going to feel, inevitably what we're going to feel once we make it through our challenges. Ask yourself and ask your kids, ask someone else's kids, ask your friends, ask your family, what do you feel when you make it through a challenge? When you have a knot in your life and you undo it, what does that feel like? And what does that feeling look like? These are all amazing prompts to ask yourself, to ask each other, to draw, to write. See yourself undoing the knots with ease and grace, trusting that the more we avoid it, we're just putting off the process. We want to go straight to it now because we're ready to shine. And I forgot this whole time that it is also the Lion's Gate, right? We said that at the beginning of the video. Everybody's talking about this Lion's Gate energy. And I invite you, for those of you who don't find any significance in that, to just think of the collective power that we hold. So when we are all collectively putting energy toward a concept, it makes it very real. So this Lion's Gate portal is very real, at the least, in a sense that we are all projecting that idea. And wow, on the Lion's Gate portal, to have this reading with the sun, the Kaf as the ally, the rising sun. I don't know how this could have been any more perfect. And I thank you for those of you who tuned in, because with our powers combined, we called upon the most perfect message, as we always do. So thank you all for joining in this activation portal. If you feel that there's someone who could benefit from this message, please go ahead and share this video with them. Again, if they don't have Facebook, it's also on Rebecca Magic YouTube. So you just go to youtube.com/Rebecca Magic as it's spelled here. Or you can go on Instagram and just search Rebecca Magic, again, as it's spelled here, magic with a CK. And don't forget to follow me, subscribe. And again, thank you to those of you who've been supporting me by purchasing my book. And I'm loving all your feedback. I now have books 1 and 2, so if y'all are interested, I have my first book on the major arcanum cards, my second book on the minor arcanum. You don't even need to have the actual cards to receive the wisdom from the books. It describes the archetypes as they exist within you. I also share all about the elemental manipulation that has distorted all modern tarot decks and modern tarot interpretations. So if you want to know the truth, then it's in my books. I was raised Jewish on both sides of my family, so I was raised with the Hebrew language, and I can tell you there are major manipulations that are okay and nothing to fear, but definitely keeping those who are interested from accessing the deepest levels of initiation in the tarot. And you don't need to be a pro to understand the books. You don't need to be a pro to understand the tarot. Tarot means royal path in ancient Egyptian, and it is the path of life that we're all walking together. I also am working on my children's book, so I'm very excited to share that with you guys soon. That way the child in us can read it, as well as our own children or our friends' children. It's going to make an awesome gift, so I'm really looking forward to publishing this one. I've also been illustrating it myself, which I've never done before, so super excited. And one more thing I haven't mentioned in a while, is I have a full video course on the tarot, particularly the major arcanum. It's all about the occult symbolism within the major arcanum, cards 0 through 22 actually, and each class is about 60 to 90 minutes long. And they were all recorded on Zoom, so you get perspectives from the students that were in the class at the time. Some of them really special artists, musicians, writers, teachers, so their perspectives are so valuable, and you can't find them in any book. It's a super affordable course, so please reach out to me if you're interested. They're all privately stored in a Google Drive folder, so if you want access, just reach out to me, send me a private message on here, or email me at bexmagic@gmail.com, BEXMAGICK@gmail.com. I am also booking private readings one-on-one. Thank you for your patience. My schedule is very full. If you want to book a session, reach out to me and I'll get back to you when I can. I can do them via video or phone or locally. And also, if you would like, we have 2 private groups on Facebook, one of them called The Royal Path, where members from these activations join and just kind of talk throughout the weeks in between the activations. And then we have another group called Shabbat Crew, Shabbat Crew, Crew. That group is posted on my wall very recently. You can find it there. In that group, we discuss Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism. And every week, I give my personal interpretation from a Kabbalistic perspective of the current Torah story. It is a passion of mine. It is so, so important to me, as is the tradition of keeping the Shabbat, and it's for everyone. It's for anyone who's interested. I also go live for that story, and I go live every Friday night, 18 minutes before sundown MST, and share the ancient melody candle lighting blessing for Shabbat. And people from all over the world tune in. So if you want to be a part of that, the group is called Shabbat Crew, Shabbatcrew. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this special activation. I wish you a blessed day, a blessed new moon, blessed Lionsgate, blessed time with your children, with your family, with your friends, blessed time being present and remembering to go straight to the challenge, because that is where the secret lies, the secret to your transformation, so that you can rise like the sun to your next level of radiance. Shalom, and thank you.